Electronic Data Interchange, or EDI, integration. EDI, or Electronic Data Interchange, is a way to electronically exchange order and invoice information between libraries and vendors. Alma supports many acquisitions workflows for EDI-enabled vendors. These include orders and order responses, claims and claim responses, cancellations, invoices, and more. So how does EDI work? Alma supports the use of EDI to send orders and receive invoices via the vendor's Sftp server. When purchase orders are sent to an EDI-enabled vendor, they're automatically exported to a specified Sftp location where they are fetched by the vendor. Then, when invoices are placed at the Sftp location by the vendor, Alma automatically loads and parses the invoices. Let's see how to configure EDI communication with a vendor in Alma. Then go through an example workflow of sending purchase orders and receiving invoices. In order to configure EDI for a vendor, you must have the Vendor Manager role assigned to your user. To manage the EDI information of a vendor, go to Acquisitions, Acquisitions Infrastructure, Vendors. On the Search Vendors page, select a vendor, then click Edit. On the Vendor Details page, click the EDI Information tab. Here you can see the various parameters of the EDI configuration. In the Vendor EDI Attributes section, you will want to fill in the EDI code, type, and format. These are provided by the vendor. Then select the EDI naming convention and EDI vendor format. These are predefined by Xlibris. More information about each of these selections can be found in the Xlibris documentation in the Knowledge Center. Next, define which activities can be handled via the EDI in the incoming and outgoing options. In job scheduling, we can activate or deactivate the EDI configuration. The scheduling parameter is relevant only for the invoices that are received. It can be configured to run daily, and it can also be run manually from here. In the Job Parameter section, we can load an EDI file directly from here as well. In the Sftp Connection section, we are configuring the settings to access the FTP server Alma and the vendor will be using. This connection requires full read and write permissions on the vendor's FTP server, or the test and process will fail. In the Per Organization Unit EDI section, you must select your institution and define the EDI code and type used by the vendor for the institution. Optionally, you can also select libraries served by the institution and define the EDI code and type used by the vendor for the library. Select Add Organization Unit, fill in the fields, and select Add to add the EDI file details for the institution and library. The EAN per account code section maps the EAN, or envelope address node code, to the vendor account. Select Add EAN and fill in the fields. This affects only outgoing purchase orders sent to the vendor. Once all of the information has been entered, click Save. Now that the vendor is configured to use EDI, whenever an order is created and the vendor is selected as the material supplier, it's possible to use EDI to send the order to the vendor. Invoices that have been created from EDI files flow into the invoice workflows automatically and can integrate with the library's ERP system. The EDI files that are created for orders and/or invoices are based on the international standards for EDI transmission and should be agreed upon with each vendor prior to entering information in Alma. EDI communication is operational with many vendors, and the list is growing daily. See the online help for a full list and for other helpful information. EDI integration with vendors not listed may also be supported, but may require additional input from the vendor. More information can also be found on the Xlibris Developers Network under Integrations EDI. Thank you for watching.